This is Heavy Conversation with Bruce and Jody, a podcast where we talk about being a big guy in today's world.
I'm Bruce.
And I'm Jody. Here we go.
Here we go. All right, here we go. All right, here we go.
Hey, Bruce.
Hello, Jody.
How are you today?
I am wonderful.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. And are you ready to talk about luxury, high-end men's fashion?
I'm ready. I am ready. I've been watching their newest runway show online.
Yes.
I watched that. I'm very excited about all this stuff.
So one of the things that I've been watching for a long time with Chubster is the introduction of high-end luxury men's clothing into the big and tall space, or the men's plus size space.
Yeah,
that has not happened for the most part over the last decade, but in the last few weeks, we've seen a brand kind of dip a toe.
They're dipping. They're getting in the shallow end.
Yeah,
or the very shallow end.
Yeah. I know they hit it up on Instagram. Do you want to?
Yeah. So our lovely friend Zach Mikos was part of a campaign for Dolce & Gabbana. When was this? December 18th it was posted.
Yeah.
Him with, I don't know, some other model and some dogs looking very dapper. It's loving the one with the fur coat.
Right.
It's got like a fur lapel on this like trench coat.
It's like everything that you would expect and want out of a luxury photo shoot. Plus, it has Zach Miko in it, so that's great. And
living the glamorous life,
totally. And it's just they got the dog, they've got the clothes on, the very expensive high end clothing, and there's messaging that kind of talks about them offering extended sizes.
Yeah, available up to an Italian 60.
Italian 60.
Which I didn't know what that was. It took me a while to figure out what size I was in Italian.
I too had to research that and look. Yeah.
So I was getting that it's like a double X, maybe a double X.
Yeah. Yeah, I got that it was a double X and maybe more around like a 50 jacket. Is that about right?
Because I was like 56, 58 is an XL.
Okay.
So then I'm like, well, 60, 62 would be a 2X is what I was thinking.
Right. So like a 50 US is about what that would 50, turn 52, into.
Yeah.
And
I was like, I'm not a 58 60 shirt. It took me a long time.
Right. What size jacket do you wear?
I'm like a 52.
Okay.
Regular. It depends on the brand, regular or long.
And I'm about a 53. And you're much taller than I am. I'm short and wide. You're tall and wide. So, So it's it wouldn't necessarily work for us.
I don't know what the exact fit is and everything, but I mean, he looks amazing as always.
He does.
And there's a lot of chatter about it all over the interwebs about
what are our friends on the internet saying about it? Is it are we getting good and bad? Is it
mostly I would say like it looks awesome, blah blah blah. But I did see our friend Addie DeVell.
Yeah.
He was like, please make larger sizes. An Italian 58. Oh, he said right here, Italian 58 is only an XL and likely a tight fit XL. Plus men love fashion too.
I like that and wholeheartedly agree. My thought on this is that it is good to see luxury brands even trying to address an extended size audience, because they haven't been doing that at all. And they've traditionally, they've been kind of crapping on bigger customers that a lot of them don't want to make clothes for
they don't want big people wearing their clothes.
Right.
So for them to even XL, possibly 2X.
Right. Right. And
I mean, it's a step.
It is a step. Like I said, dipping a toe.
Somebody's, they're the first ones that I've seen. Right. Maybe someone else has done it, but I haven't seen it.
Right.
So I went to their website and kind of filtered all the things that were available in 60. You know, it's for Dolce & Gabbana, I mean, it's still kind of out there, but it's more of their basics, you know.
Right.
A lot of t-shirts and sweatshirts and joggers, and they'd have jeans. There's a leather biker jacket.
Whoa.
You know, it's $5,000, whatever. I could throw down on that. But I do love all their prints and their color combination. Like, I love all that stuff.
Totally.
But yeah, like,
they're well known for a reason. It definitely, and there's definitely an audience for that. And it is still the undiscovered frontier, I think, when it comes to big and tall. We've got fast fashion now. We've got we've got clothes that kind of run the spectrum at this point, but we don't have much of anything when it comes to luxury products for us. And if there are brands that are out there that are making extended size stuff and luxury brands that are doing this, they aren't promoting it.
Yeah.
They're certainly not using bigger models aside from Zach. So I feel like the fact that this brand is using Zach and stepping out there, it is a step in the right direction. And I didn't see that it was getting a lot of love in the press, but I haven't looked a ton to see if that's the case.
Yeah, I didn't see it anywhere in any sort of major media or big media. I just follow Zach, and so I saw him and I was like, oh my God, what?
Right.
Got excited about it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like we've said, these brands they slowly get into the big and tall thing. You know, there's a lot of different other brands that are like, oh, we're doing plus size, and they only do, 2X. So, I mean, hopefully there are big and tall guys they know about it. They'll notice it. They'll buy some of this stuff.
Wouldn't you love to know, like, the behind the scenes, how this came about? Like, how did they get to this point? Who pushed for this and made it happen that they would even put this message out?
I'm sure that there's people that work.
Sure.
I mean, the Dolce & Gabbana, they're not big guys.
No, they're not.
They're really the thin Italian-looking guys.
Right. But how long can you continue to ignore this audience, I guess, is the thing. So it's good to see something like this. Is it where we want to be? No, it's not.
Not quite, but it's a step in the right direction. I think that's really good.
Right.
I wish I could support that.
How much are, you said there were sweatshirts and t-shirts?
So like a logo hooded sweatshirt, kind of a basic one, sorry. $575.
Okay. All right. Well,
cotton sweatshirt with embroidery and a hood.
It would be easy to complain about price, but that's not the point of luxury fashion. That never has been. Luxury fashion has been around for
I'm sure that
decades and decades.
Is amazing, and it'll last you forever.
Sure. And yeah, I mean, the point is the fashion of the thing and the brand name and all of that. So I get that. And I think there are absolutely people who want to spend that money, who have the money to spend on that, and they should be able to.
Yeah.
If they're
that's the thing. If you
bigger.
Yeah, you're a bigger guy, you have money, you want to treat yourself, and
right.
God, there's a lot of the stuff I'm like, oh man.
Yep. I know, it's good. They've got good stuff. Got good stuff.
There's a cotton hoodie with a superhero king print.
Oh, really?
I really love this right here.
Whoa! Oh, that's crazy. Yep.
It's got matching pants. I wouldn't do the whole matching.
And how much is that?
That's on sale. 40% off. $477.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that I added to cart.
Yeah. There you go. You'll be getting that. Yep.
Well, I didn't check out. I added it to the cart.
Just added. I see. All
so
right.
I'll put that on my wish list. So any of our listeners could.
Do you feel like we're going to see more of this this year or in the coming years?
I honestly feel like the voice is getting louder. The plus size men's fashion. I think we've reached sort of a little bit of a tipping point with, because like you said, we've got kind of the spectrum of everything else pretty much. So it's this luxury thing that we've hit, and obviously we're seeing the cracks in that ceiling of, well, we want this, give it, we're going to spend money.
Totally.
So I I don't know who the next person is going to be, but
right. Yeah. I absolutely agree. I think we are at a point now where it doesn't do, especially with where we're at right now in the world and the economy and culture. I mean, these companies, every company is looking for a new audience. They're looking for a new customer, especially if there is any kind of threat of an economic downturn. They're like, who can we get to buy our stuff? Popular culture is becoming more welcoming to bigger people little by little.
Yeah.
So, of course, I think these brands are going to look at that. And I cannot wait until we get to see bigger, like other bigger models, with different body types wearing this kind of stuff and really high-end photo shoots, because that will be amazing.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
I would love to see him on the runway, honestly. Like, that's where it makes the biggest impact. I know most people don't watch the runways, but the impact that has on the industry itself, I think, is where that makes a difference, is having those big bodies on the runway.
Definitely.
It shows that the clothing, whatever retail world, that this is where it's going.
Right.
And there's got to be just somebody brave enough to do it and put someone on the runway to,
And I also think that a lot of high-end fashion, luxury fashion, this kind of thing, there's a lot of art to it. It's where fashion and art really intertwine in a lot of cases. And so I do think that to make a statement that there will be brands or designers or, creative directors with these different companies that are going to look at these at kind of where we're at and say, okay, let's use a bigger model. Let's make this stand out and show this in a different way. And hopefully that translates into making bigger clothing, because people will buy that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So let's open our beer for this episode.
What do we got here?
All right. So this beer comes from Abomination Brewing Company. They are in... Okay. All right. So when I picked this one out, I picked this out for two reasons. Because I love the label. It's called Hop Thing. Kind of like Swamp Thing. It's Hop Thing. And as you can see here, there's an illustration.
It looks like a...
It's basically Swamp Thing with a hoppy head. A hops for a head.
Yeah.
It is a New England style double dry hopped India Pale Ale. 6.9%. The other reason that I got it is because it is brewed and canned by a brewing company in Boston, Massachusetts, with a name that I'm not sure if I can pronounce or if I've been pronouncing it right. It looks like Dorchester, but I think it's like Dorchester.
It's like Worcester. You have to say the
something,
weird,
something like that.
Worcestershire.
If you live in Massachusetts, if you live on the East Coast, whatever, and you're listening to this, hit us up on social and tell us how you actually pronounce this.
Yeah, send us a video of you saying it correctly.
Yeah, so I was curious about this. It's 6.9%, and
it doesn't say what the IBU is on Untapped, unfortunately.
Let's see
if brewed with flaked oats and wheat, hopped and double dry hopped with Zappa, Citra, and Mosaic.
It smells strong.
Beware of the hop thing, it says.
Yep. All right. Perfect.
It's got a 3.64 average rating with 1,000. Oh, there you go. 1,000 ratings.
Yes. Nice. All right.
Ooh, that is.
It's strong. It's dank.
It's got the hop, that double hop.
Yep.
Whew.
I know. There we go.
I'm a little scared of this.
All right. Let's try. Oh, wow. Man, that is.
Yep. That's hoppy, all right.
It tastes like bubble bath is what that tastes like. That's like
bubble bath.
I'm sure that's what they're going for.
The swamp thing bathed in this, or the hop thing.
Tastes like Mr. Bubble. It's bitter, strong. Let me try that again.
Yeah. Ooh-wee.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know. I don't know about that.
See, well, the second one wasn't as bad.
It's better.
That first one is quite the shock to the tongue, right?
Yep. Yeah,
It's got that double dry hopped definitely.
it is. Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I don't know Zappa. Maybe that's the Zappa hops that.
Maybe so. Yeah.
Because I know I like the Mosaic. I can't remember Citra so much now, but
Yeah, Citra. That's definitely that kind of Citra. The citrus taste there. That sort of, I don't know, citrus in the back. But the thing that's really dry and it's like,
it like feels like you're shriveling up your tongue.
yeah, like you're drinking shampoo. It's
Or Mr. Bubble, did you say?
Mr. Bubble.
Is that what it's called, Mr. Bubble? I don't remember.
Do you remember that, Mr. Bubble?
I do. Yeah,
the pink,
with the bottle.
Yeah, pink bottle and the bubble, the pink bubble guy. Yep. I remember.
So
Mr.
I was just on, because Neiman Marcus carries Dolce & Gabbana.
Okay.
They also have Balenciaga men's.
Oh.
They have some 2X stuff, but it's all T-shirts and hoodies.
Okay. Yeah. 2X seems to be about where they go. And it's always hard with 2X because, number one, the thing we always say is that sizing is not, there's no standard across the board.
Yeah.
So one man's 2X is another man's large. You know? So it's hard to... It's hard to tell what's what, but I don't think anybody is specifically making luxury men's clothing, for bigger bodies. So
I honestly don't consider 2X plus size.
No.
Like, it's just normal.
Yeah, the closest thing that I had seen to like any kind of high fashion brand doing anything with a bigger guy was oh man, it's been a long time. It's been probably 10 years or more. Tony Sylvester is a singer, an awesome big bearded guy. Was a model for Burberry in their trench coats, and
I was just...
the photos they got
Burberry has some 3X stuff.
Yeah, Burberry does some bigger stuff. So I stand corrected. So and that is definitely
they have that traditional Burberry plaid on here on a sweater and some crazy things. But it's like really they're basics,
Yeah. I love the idea of a trench coat, but for me, I always feel like I'm too short to pull one off.
Well, you get a short one.
Yeah, I guess.
They come in,
but that just
short,
feels
regular, long.
I know, but that feels
but
like
it's the right length for your body.
I guess.
Come on, Bruce.
I know. It's
there. Because I sometimes I'm like, oh my god, this is so amazing. I want this, and then I'm like, I read the bus.
Yeah,
I'm not wearing this nice coat on the bus.
Right.
Right. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm like, I'm going to sit, because you sit on it. And I'm like, I'm not sitting on this coat on the public transit.
Yes.
But
yeah,
I'm excited to see, that there, Dolce is at least putting a bigger model, it was, it's on their Instagram.
Right.
It's on their social media, that kind of stuff.
Right.
I think that's really important.
It is. It's representation, and it's a good step in the right direction. So,
so a lot of on the Dolce & Gabbana, a lot of the stuff that's available in a 60 isn't actually available. So it's like either sold out.
Yeah, I bet that stuff sells out pretty quickly. You know, like
so they're
they know how to make it work. Yeah. So one of the other things that we may have to do sometime is actually go through and talk about how you pronounce so many of these.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, there's a couple other brands, and now I'm gonna say how I think it's pronounced, and then it's gonna be wrong.
Right.
The Brunello Cucci. Yeah, I don't know.
Yes. That one.
Burberry.
Yep.
Christian Louboutin. I know that one. Dolce & Gabbana. Yeah, the Fendi, Gucci. Those ones I know. But there's a couple of them on there. I'm like, those are too Italian for me.
Does Gucci do anything in big and tall? I feel like...
Let's see, Gucci.
I feel like they should do... Gucci feels like one that would do something in extended sizes and never tell anyone about it.
It looks like they might have some 3X. I'm just on Neiman Marcus's site because that's easy for me to. Yeah, they have got some what's categorized as a 3X.
Nice. I know that if you look
Wow,
at
they have quite a bit.
Mr. Porter, which is a site that does higher end clothing, they have a lot of 3X. 3X is where they stop. So they have a lot of 3X. The thing to keep in mind with the 3X is that it's not going to be your DXL 3X.
No.
No. So generally, that's kind of what you're going to run into.
Still, it's like Gucci hoodies.
Yeah.
Whew, Lordy.
Yeah.
$1,400.
Right. But it would be cool to see some of these other brands get into this and start doing, extended sizes. There are some that just, they look so cool and they have a very specific feel that it would just be, it would be so good to, I mean, look, I'm looking at an article right now. It's got, let's see, it's what's his name from Portlandia?
What's his name?
Looking all goofy in a suit. I'm like, listen, if they're going to put him in a suit and they're going to give him something awesome, they've got to do like a 3X or 4X. Come on. Mm-hmm. So, I like these kind of photos though. It's Fred Armisen.
Oh yeah, and I was like,
he's staring off into the ether, and he's got his legs kind of. It's like. It's kind of like when Shaggy from Scooby-Doo smells some kind of tasty food, and he kind of goes into a daze. It's that kind of look. I like these photos because then I'm like, yeah, we need to see some bigger guys trying to do this sort of thing. I love it. I love the photography that you see for high-end fashion, especially like the with Zach, that whole thing, all those photos, the whole series, they look so good that we need to see more of that with people with different body types. It's been luxury fashion and high fashion, the runway, all of that has been so exclusive. And I get that their whole thing is, it's supposed to feel like that. But I think you can do that with bigger people as well. Yeah. And make it this high end thing. And that's what I want to see. I want to see some of these brands, embrace people of different body types, and I think we're going to get there. I feel like in 2030,
oh boy,
when we're doing our 2030 episodes, that we'll be talking about these.
We'll be on the runway by then.
Yes, that's right.
Yes,
so good.
Well, I am excited to see what 2020 brings us in luxury men's plus size fashion. Yeah I'm going to keep a little bit closer eye on this, I think, because I was even surprised to see that some of these have 2 and 3X, even though I know they're, the sizing is going to be a little off for what we're traditionally used to, but
definitely
they're in there.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, well,
so let's talk about our things.
Yes,
for this episode.
What else are we up to? So one thing that I've been loving that has really been standing out to me is so DC Universe is it's like a channel, a network, streaming network. Yeah. They do a bunch of their different shows. They have all of their old properties and movies and stuff, but they also do new exclusive shows. And one of the shows that they've just put out is it's a show about Harley Quinn. And it is a cartoon, but it's made for adults. This is definitely not for kids. Don't show your kids. It's not that. It's the basic idea is that Harley Quinn and the Joker break up, and she's trying to kind of get established in Gotham City. Okay. It is. Speaking of names that we'll butcher, it's Kaylee Cuoco from Big Bang Theory, the blonde lady from that show, does the voice of Harley Quinn. Lake Bell is her best friend, Poison Ivy. Alan Tudyk voices the Joker, and it's glorious. Ron Funches is King Shark. And so it's all these people with these voices that you hear these voices and you go, I know that voice. And it's so good. And like the whole thing is just, it's perfect. The guy who voices Bane does like a really heightened version of Tom Hardy played Bane in one of the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. And he talked like this. It was like this whole horrible voice. And so whoever does the voice like takes it and just amps it up to 100. And it's so good.
you'll recognize the voices. Batman shows up, and there's there's a scene in one of the episodes that cracked me up where he's talking to Robin, and Robin is ready to have the sex talk, and Batman flies out at the last minute. He's not ready to have the sex talk with his kid. There's just a bunch of it's fast paced, it's funny, there are a lot of jokes. It feels like a lot of shows that aren't animated, that are that are comedy shows, or that have a comedic element that people are talking about and a lot of people are watching. So I definitely recommend at least watch the first one. It's funny, it's dumb. It is also I believe that a couple of the people who were involved with Venture Brothers, which was a phenomenal show on, I think, Cartoon Network.
Oh, okay.
That ran for so long, and it was
what was it called?
Venture Brothers, and it was so good. If you're at all into any of this, it's worth at least watching the first episode, and you really get into it from there. And if you're not, if adult animation isn't your thing, it's still worth a look, because it's just so funny and dumb, and just everything that you would hope for. I don't think so. The DC Universe app, it's owned by Warner Brothers, which owns HBO.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
HBO is coming out with their new whatever their HBO
Now or Go.
Yeah, there's a new
one.
There's a new one that's supposed to come out the next few months, and when it does, they're pulling in a bunch of stuff from different networks that Warner Brothers owns. So. And it's going to have CNN and all these other things. And they're starting to have the DC shows go to that instead of going to DC Universe. So DC Universe may not be around for much longer, aside from it has shows, but they also have all the comics, DC Comics and stuff. So you can read all that stuff. But it's worth a look. So check it out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So my thing is I'm doing another improv class.
Hey!
It starts this week. It's called Core. So we're going to be doing stuff about character and environment. So we're doing more scene work, diving a little bit deeper into some of that, like how to develop a character, how to establish an environment, that kind of stuff. I don't know exactly what all of it is, but I'm super excited to continue on with this new sort of hobby of mine, kind of, pushing myself out of my comfort zone. So I'm super excited about it. I'm doing it at Curious Comedy Theater here in Portland, Oregon.
Nice.
They're really supportive, fun, environment. So, and I'm excited that a lot of my 101 and 201, I kind of had a group of people that have kind of gone up through the classes with me, so I'm excited that there's still a group of us continuing on with that. So I'm super excited about that. It actually starts on Tuesday, so
very cool. Yeah. Nice that you're continuing to do that. Was it something that are you surprised that you enjoyed as much as you do?
Not really. I did some theater stuff in high school and stuff like that, so I'm okay being on stage. And it's just, you're just up there having fun and kind of, as long as you keep that, for me, as long as I keep that mentality of I'm having fun and I'm just enjoying it, whatever happens. You just go up there, perform, and you're done. Right. I'm not doing a set where I have to remember certain things, or there's that pressure is, I think for me anyways, it's lifted where I don't need to, remember a certain joke or lines or any of that kind of stuff. Awesome. Where you just get up there, you know the format of what you're doing, the game you're playing, and you just play it, and whatever happens kind of happens. And it's nice to be an adult and have this, be okay with playing and having fun, and being silly.
Which is nice.
You don't get an opportunity to do that most of the time, I guess depending on who you are, but
it's true.
Yeah, you don't get a chance to just be silly and have fun and play. Yeah, and just get up there and perform, and it's really fun. I really enjoy it.
Awesome.
So I'll recommend to anyone and everyone to take an Improv 101 class. Just check it out. Go check out some improv theater around you and go sign up for a class. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, that's about all I have for this week.
All right. Well, we've solved luxury men's fashion for big and tall guys. And given some nice suggestions.
Yes.
So, all right.
Well, thanks everyone.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to Heavy Conversation. Be sure to like and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.